Page 12, seconds and thirds. This is the earliest of any method book I've covered where they start introducing intervals. They haven't even told you what a time signature is yet, and they're already introducing intervals. Doesn't matter, I guess. I mean, intervals are pretty simple, and they are important that you understand them. So let's talk intervals, starting with seconds and thirds. An interval is the distance between any two notes. So for instance, if I have a middle C, I can have any note. I'm just using middle C as an example. And I have another anywhere, a note anywhere. Doesn't matter what note it is, okay? For the time being, I'm sticking to the white notes. And we'll get to the black notes later, okay? The distance between those two notes is the interval. Now, to determine what the interval is, you can count it. And in music, we don't start with 0 when we count. We start with 1. So the note you're on is 1. It's not 0. So if I want an interval of a second, I go 1, 2. That distance between these two notes is a second. Okay? If I want a third, I go 1, 2, 3. So the distance between these two notes is a third. Now, seconds and thirds are easy enough because seconds are next to each other. Okay? They may or may not have a note in between. Just right now, we're just dealing with the white notes on the keyboard, okay? And these are all seconds. Sounds wonderful, don't it? Okay. A third is easy enough because it's going to have one note in between. I'm talking white notes only, okay? It's going to have one note in between. Those are all thirds. Thirds don't sound so bad, do they? Some intervals are a little more edgy sounding than others, right? We call that dissonant. Has that edge to it. Okay, then these, we finally, oh, okay, I can deal with that. Not so bad, huh? Those are not dissonant, okay? Just thought I'd throw that in to confuse you further, okay? Okay. On this piece on page 12, in this music, everything is either a second or a third. And they're identifying them for you, isn't that nice? They're identifying most of them, not all of them. Look at the first two notes. They're identifying it as a third. Well, I've already told you, if there's one note in between, it's a third, right? They don't have to be played at the same time. They're next to each other in the music. Now look at the last note, that's C in the first measure, and the first note of the next measure. That goes to here. They didn't identify that interval. That's a second. They've only identified the thirds up here so far. That, you know, the bar line doesn't mean anything. Bar lines are for counting. Bar lines have nothing to do with intervals or none of that junk, okay? So you can still have intervals across bar lines. That's a second. Going between the second and third measure, you have a D and an E. That's a second. Between the third and fourth measure, you have a D and a C, the whole note C. That's a second. On the second line is similar to the first line, except it's for the left hand. It's on the bass clef. For now, the right hand's going to play the treble clef for the top part, and the left hand's going to play the bass clef for the bottom staff. Notice on this second and thirds piece, they did not put in the counting this time. Hopefully you can just count it out. You don't need it on everything. Eventually, you're not going to get it at all. It's up to you to know it. So that's nice. Don't like too much information on there. It clutters it up. So you don't need counting, so leave it off. So let's try this out, the second and third thing. Go ahead and put your hands in middle C position, which is your thumbs are on middle C and your hands are here. Okay? How do I know it? I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you. I look at the first note or two in the music for the hand, and I look at the finger number they're showing. The first note is a middle C, and it's got a 1 under it. That's the finger number. Well, the thumb is finger 1 because all the fingers are numbered, right? So the 1, I put my 1 finger there, my thumb. The other fingers just go where they go. That's the hand position. That's how I know where to put the hand. Now the left hand doesn't come into the second line, so if I look at the second line and I look at the first note, I see again that's a middle C with a 1. This time it's above it. It doesn't matter if it's below or above it, that's not important. It's a 1. And that's again the thumb. So that's the hand position. I will go over this some more, believe me. That's why I'm saying I can just glance at it and say, oh, middle C position. So you just put your hands in middle C position and we are ready to go. So I'm going to count to 4 to count us in, and then we're going to play it together. I need you to listen carefully so you make sure what you're playing matches what I'm playing. All right, here we go. Put both hands up. I know you don't need your left hand for a while, but put it up there anyway. Okay, just trust me on this one. 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, three, 4.